All right, Nick, let's talk about New Orleans Saints. Rookie minicamp has been underway. There's a lot of great news about a particular, not really a late round gem, because it was kind of after the draft, undrafted gem the Saints may have found that could be a big time contributor to this team going forward.
Miles, I agree with you 100%. The report you dug up kind of reveals a potential new big-time playmaker for the New Orleans Saints. But before we get into that, Saints fans got a real interesting question for you guys to answer, as always, in the comment section below. Over the past couple decades or so, the Saints seem to have turned out elite wide receiver after elite wide receiver, going from Joe Horn, of course, to Joe Horn to Michael Thomas and Chris Olave now. So let us know, who is your favorite New Orleans Saints wide receiver of all time? Give us that guy, the one Saints wide receiver you love watching more than any other, in the comment section below. And make sure you stay tuned to the end of today's video to hear a word of our partner of today's video, and that, of course, is Neuro. They've got a great product that gives you a fast and easy energy boost. Miles and I love their mints before the show. It gives us the energy to get through the show to create great content for you. So stay tuned to the end of the video to learn more about Neuro and to get access to our special discount code. All right, Miles, what you got? What's the latest out of New Orleans?
Yeah, Nick. So let's rewind a second before we get to who the Saints have found this year. We go back last year to an undrafted free agent the Saints bring in, and that is none other than Rashid Shaheed, who was an excellent kick returner coming out of college, but he looked to potentially be a good wide receiver threat as well. He comes to the Saints and he shows out in the kick return game, but also turns out to be a very productive receiver. He's worked his way into that depth chart after last year, giving a stellar 80.8 PFF grade for last season. He was very, very good. Very surprising coming out of that undrafted free agent spot. Nick, so we know that they've had success there before, getting a guy like Shaheed from a smaller school like Weber State. Well, they go back to the well this season and go after none other than Malik Flowers from Montana. This guy has been stellar, and I'm going to get into the article right now to tell you exactly how great he was in college. So Flowers' calling card is understandably going to be connected to the ability as a kick returner, with 7 return for a touchdown throughout his Montana career. He tied the FCS record held by current Saints wideout Rashid Shaheed. But what made him stand out today, speaking of the minicamp practice, was every pass that we saw go his way was brought in cleanly and with his hands, as opposed to securing the ball against his body, which is a habit developed sometimes among kick returners. Flowers did not look to fall into those habits today, and he also showed some nice sideline awareness with a tiptoe catch along the boundary. So, Nick, look, this is really, really big for the Saints. I think that Flowers has a clear-cut path into this offense, specifically talking about the performance of Shaheed last year. It was great, but I think he's too valuable now to be that kick returner role. A guy like Flowers can come into the fold, take over that position, and potentially work on developing these skills as an up-and-coming wide receiver, just as Shaheed did. I think this is really great for the Saints. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are. What do you think about Flowers, and what do you think about his possibility of working his way in this Saints offense?
So first of all, bringing in Flowers to be potentially their kick returner during the regular season, or at least part of their kick return duties, I think is a masterclass by Loomis and company. Because I agree with you 100%, Miles. They're looking to use Shaheed more as their standard, number 3 wide receiver paired with Chris Olave and Michael Thomas. And we all know 3 wide receiver sets are the standard formation in today's NFL. So you look at Shaheed to be getting a lot of workload, a lot of snaps, a lot of potential production as a wide receiver. They don't want him to have to relinquish all the kick return duties, but they will want to offload at least some of that. And Flowers is a guy who certainly has the pedigree and the college production to come in and execute that at the high level. So that's good on that end. But you look on the fact they need a really strong rookie minicamp receiving the football. I think that's awesome as well, because in order for Flowers to make this team, and again, fulfill the role the Saints want him to do, he's going to have to be a quality wide receiver. Remember, NFL teams only dress 46 players on game day. That means virtually every player has to be able to do a lot of different things. You can't be just a kick returner. You can't be just a punt returner. You also have to be able to run routes to be productive as a wide receiver as well. And we all know the Saints are in kind of a very interesting open competition right now for that number 4, number 5, number 6 slots at the wide receiver position. They, of course, drafted A.T. Perry. They brought in James Washington, Brian Edwards from the Raiders as well. So there's a lot of competition going on, both with young rookies and more seasoned veterans. So I look at Malik Flowers as a guy who's going to have a lot of chances to impress the New Orleans Saints, and it looks like he's already doing it. And if he can continue on this track and continue to develop as a wide receiver and be productive and impress the Saints coaches, that'll be huge for New Orleans, because if they have a guy who can be good enough at their number 5, number 4 wide receiver position and also be a top flight kick returner, that'll, give open up Shaheed to be focusing more on wide receiver. They won't lose a beat in the kick return game. It'll just add more depth, and their offense will be more explosive for it. I really like what I'm seeing out of Malik Flowers so far. If he can keep it up, I think this could be quietly a very huge boon for the Saints offense. All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big time game winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.